I think more films should specifically acknowledge the participating plant species in their end credits. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainely Movies. As part of my coverage of TIFF50, the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2025 botanical drama, Silent Friend. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content, like reviews, rank lists, and recommendations. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and even some tailored film recommendations. So be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Silent Friend stars Tony Leung, Wedler, and Enzo Brumm, and was directed by Ildikó and Enyedi. Spanning more than a century, it tells the story of a ginkgo tree on a German university campus as it silently observes students and faculty. Most movies operate on a human timescale. They focus on events that occur during time frames we can easily grasp. Some movies take place over only a few hours, while others can span days, months, or even years. But what's a literal lifetime to us is just the blink of an eye when viewed at a grander, non-human scale. And although they exist, it's certainly more rare for films to function at these broader scales. Silent Friend is one of those rare movies. It can be perceived at a human timescale, but the film functions on the timescale of a tree. And not just any tree, but a ginkgo tree, which is a notoriously long-lived species, with some individuals living 1,000 years or more. Silent Friend is a story centered around a tree, and named for it, but it's not exactly about the tree in a classic sense. Instead, it's a silent observation of the events that occur around the tree, spanning more than 100 years. This is an introspective, meditative film that requires patience to watch, and really urges audiences to slow down to the tree's pace. That's not something that's always easy for us to do, especially in today's fast-paced, instant gratification society, but it is something that can be a rewarding experience. To match its unique temporal scale, Silent Friend boasts an equally unique premise and structure. The film features 3 loosely connected stories that all occur in the same place, a university campus overseen by a centuries-old ginkgo tree, but in 3 distinct time periods, 1908, 1972, and 2020. Each time period story focuses on a student or faculty member who find themselves isolated in some way. The first female student ever admitted to the university, a loner who has trouble connecting with classmates, a visiting professor who finds himself stuck on an empty campus during the COVID lockdown. But each of these people also find themselves drawn to the film's central ginkgo tree during their time of isolation. There's not really a significant plot connection between the 3 storylines, but the film still tells an ambitious overarching story of interconnectedness, linking generation to generation and species to species. In order to tell its 3 stories, the film uses a non-linear structure, jumping among the 3 time periods, often with no discernible pattern to the timing of the transitions. Theoretically, this type of structure could have gotten a little confusing to follow, especially early on before the audience settles in and has the opportunity to get a sense of the characters in each segment. But luckily, the movie has a clever and elegant cinematography-based solution to not only alleviate the issue, but also to make for a more immersive experience as well. Each of the 3 stories is shot with different cameras and on different film stocks, each representative of the dominant film technology of the time period. The 1908 segment is filmed in black and white on 35mm film. The 1972 segment is shot on 16mm, embracing its warm colors and visible grain. And the 2020 segment is shot digitally. This results in obvious visual differences among the 3 segments, which makes the nonlinear structure much easier to follow, ensuring that you're always able to keep track of when in time you are. Since the movie operates at the timescale of a tree, it probably comes as no surprise that this is an extremely slow-paced film. Not only does it span 112 years of time on a university campus, but the individual era stories are slow and observant as well, full of long static shots and moments of quiet contemplation. Silent Friend is not a narrative-driven story. Things happen in the lives of the characters, but the slow, sparse, slice-of-life approach is a bit narratively unsatisfying. It's a bit more character-driven than narrative, but we still only get brief snapshots of who these people are, without a whole lot of substantive development. This is slice of life, but more from the tree's perspective than anything else. After all, human lifetimes, and certainly college careers, are just a drop of a leaf from a ginkgo standpoint. So that means this film's primary driving force isn't the plot or even the characters, but rather its overarching themes. This is a story about isolation and loneliness, about learning and self-discovery, about yearning for connection and purpose, and finding answers in nature. This is a poetic, science-forward film that's introspective, meditative, and more than a little existential. And as an ecologist who teaches at the university level, Silent Friend is a movie that I really wanted to love, but it left me feeling surprisingly cool. So unfortunately, I ended up appreciating it a lot more than I actually enjoyed it. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one is the cinematography. There's certainly no denying that this is a beautiful looking movie, with imagery that perfectly matches the introspective and contemplative nature of the story. So it looks amazing, but the most interesting aspect of the cinematography for me was the use of different period-specific cameras and film stock to visually distinguish the film's three time periods. Black and white 35mm for 1908, warmly grainy 16mm for 1972, and sleek digital for 2020. This was a creative and elegant way of not only capturing the visual essence of each time period, but also of helping audiences more easily follow the film's nonlinear structure. Pro number two is the concept. I absolutely love the idea of this movie. Following the lives of three people on the same university campus, but separated by time, all silently observed by a sturdy, timeless ginkgo tree. It's an interesting take on a single location story, focusing on themes of science, isolation, and unexpected connection. Personally, I would have liked a bit more to the narrative, but this is definitely good if you're in a particularly introspective or meditative mood. On the con side, the biggest issue is the pacing. It's a good thing the ginkgo tree's there, because audiences are going to be converting a lot of oxygen into carbon dioxide waiting for something to happen in this 2.5 hour long movie. This is not a narrative-driven movie by any means, and only just barely a character-driven one. Instead, this is more a slow, meditative exploration of existential themes of connection and loneliness. It forces audiences to slow down to the pace of a tree species that's been known to live for more than 1,000 years. This triptych structure imparts an almost anthology film feel, with only the loosest connections and shared proximity linking the three stories. This nonlinear structure also hurts the pacing a bit, because the timing of the jumps among the story segments, as well as the length of time spent in each segment, often felt a bit random and without a discernible pattern. This is a film that requires patience, but if you're prepared for that going in, there's a decent chance that the pacing may be among the movie's assets for you, rather than a con. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Silent Friend, or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd use them if you're in the market for any of these movies, or anything else. I'm gonna give Silent Friend 3 out of 5 paws. Spanning more than 100 years, this is an ambitious story of interconnectedness, linking generation to generation and species to species. It's extremely slow-paced, but the time-jumping structure and distinctive cinematography for each portion of its triptych story help to enliven this poetic, science-forward film. I would recommend Silent Friend to people looking for a meditative and thematically contemplative film. If you have the patience and are in an introspective art house movie mood, this is the kind of film that could have a profound existential impact on you. But if you're not in the mood for something quite so non-traditional, this runs the risk of being a very boring experience due to its insubstantial narrative and extremely slow pace. This is one movie where your mood and mindset going in is going to have a big impact on how you ultimately feel about the film. If you liked Silent Friend, I would recommend Perfect Days. Directed by Wim Wenders, this is a quiet, methodical slice of life film about finding joy and meaning in the mundane. It follows the life and routine of a public toilet cleaner in Tokyo, who also happens to have a passion for trees and photography. If you want another meditative drama about isolation and connection, you might want to watch Drive My Car. This Ryosuke Hamaguchi film tells the somewhat non-linear story of a theater director trying to work on a troublesome stage production while struggling to deal with the death of a loved one. It's more narratively complex than Silent Friend, but features similar deliberate pacing. And if you want another single place across time story, you should check out Here. This extremely non-linear Robert Zemeckis film stars Tom Hanks and features a locked camera observing a single plot of land over hundreds of years. It's gimmicky and gets a little overly saccharine at times, but it's got a unique and compelling premise. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Silent Friend? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite movie featuring an important tree? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe if you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies. The way life should be.